I can scream that we made it. Now everywhere I go, they say ventilation.
Hey guys, it's Karina, and today I'm going to be doing everything you need to know about getting your permit and license. And I did a video a little bit ago. It was like a story time video. I want to take my driving, like my test, like behind the wheel test, and I failed. And these are some of the tips I wish I knew, like in the permit process and in like the getting my driver's license stuff process. So, I mean, if there's a video like this one like out there, it probably is, but I mean, if there's like a video kind of like this one out there, I mean, I'm sure it would have helped me. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. My vlog channel will also be linked in the description, so make sure to go check that out, and let's get into this video. I'm first gonna start with like before the permit and like getting it, like the test itself and stuff. So you need to, number one, complete driver's ed. The driver's ed I did was, it was just called driver's ed, like that was the website. You didn't have to do a certain amount of time. I recommend staying away from those ones because then you can't complete it like on your own time. You have to like complete like a certain amount of hours, which is really annoying. So when I did it, I just had to like skip through slides and then take like a test at the end of it, and if I got like as long as I passed the test, then I can move on to the next section. And I think I finished driver's ed. I started it a month before I turned 15 and a half, and I live in California, so you have to be 15 and a half to get your permit. I know other places you can be younger than that and older than that, but I live in California, so sadly that's the way it goes. I recommend 3 months into being 15 and so on, because you don't want to forget that information that you're learning, and if you're learning it at like a slower pace, then like for me, I more likely forget it. So I know that the motivation of wanting to take it right when I turned 15, having that shorter amount of time, like helped me remember it more and get it done faster and be motivated. That's my preference. Like I purposely started it a month before so that I wouldn't be able to procrastinate, because I know I would have procrastinated like more. You can definitely finish driver's ed in a month if you really wanted to. That's what I did. I passed my permit test my first try, so that was fine. Like it didn't like mess me up, anything like that. The second is after you complete a driver's ed, you complete it. You need to complete it a little bit before you're going to take your test, because they send you something in the mail. You don't like print it out. They send you a certificate of completion, and they send you the DL44 form, which is this form you fill out. It's like a driver's license application pretty much. Most places that you do your driver's ed with, they'll send you that form. I mean, that wouldn't be an issue if you like didn't fill out your DL44 form, but if you're gonna fill it out at home, bring it with you, because then it's like faster. So I used 2 apps, and I'll like put them right here because I forget they're called right now. I know one of them is better than the other one. I'm only gonna buy one. I recommend this one. This one is like decent, but this one's a little bit better. It's like more questions and it's like easier to like look at and stuff. My third tip for like getting the permit is to bring 3/4 things. You need to bring your DL44 form, and then the second thing you need to bring is your certificate of completion that your driver's ed will send you when you've completed driver's ed. It takes about a week for them to get it there. You need to bring your birth certificate, and to be safe, bring your social security card. And then it's also going to cost $32 to take the test. That money also covers when you take your behind the wheel driving test. And then I recommend making an appointment for your permit test. You have to make an appointment for your license test, but I don't think you need to make one for your permit test. So make sure you study lots of practice tests before going to take your permit test, because you don't really want to take it again. Like, why would you do that to yourself? You want to get your permit as soon as possible because you want to be driving as soon as possible. I mean, it's like literally the best thing. Like once I got my license, I did not realize how great it was until like I got my license. You can get Starbucks whenever you want. You can go to the mall whenever you want. I mean, if your parents don't care like mine. And it's just great. And you can get a job and you can do whatever you want to do. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you can miss 8 questions. I forget how many I missed. I think I missed 5 or 6. And they also take your driver's license photo when you go and get your permit. So make sure you don't look like a hobo, or unless you want to look like a hobo. So moving on to having your permit. You need to practice a lot with your permit. Practice going to school, going home from school. Like literally just beg your parents to let you practice. Like it'll help you in the long run. And if your parents are those kind of parents that like don't want to let you practice because they're scared of you hurting their car, or they're like, you know, they just don't feel like it, or they're too tired, or they're just like, no, and they have no reason at all. My parents were the ones that wanted me to practice. Like they were like, yeah, here, practice. So I drove home, I drove to school, I did all the drivings. But if your parents don't want to let you drive, you need to know what to say to them. So say when I was driving, I did something on the road that was wrong, and when I was with my mom, she was like, it's okay, sweetie, just do this and that next time. With my dad, he didn't know how to, like, he would get too stressed out because he would think that, I don't know what was going through his head, but he'd be like, Karina, you can't do that. Like, no, stop the car, let me drive. I would say to him, no, Dad, this just means I need more practice. Because that's all it means when you mess up, is that you need more practice. So if you tell your parents that, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, she's right. You need to be right when you're driving. Because you're in control of the vehicle and you're in control of the situation. It's like not the end of the world if you make a minor mistake. I mean, if you hit a person, don't hit a person, and try not to hit another car. But hitting like a human being, like a pedestrian person, don't do that. That's really bad. Just try your best not to do that. And you might almost sometimes, but it's okay because you didn't. Also, when you get your permit, remember that you need to have a behind the wheel lesson, like one at least, before you can drive at all. You might need to like guilt trip your parents, like manipulate them into letting you drive sometimes. That's like last resort for me. I mean, like I did that a couple times and then they just like never wanted to argue with me over it again. What I would tell them is if you don't let me practice, then when I take my test or I get my license, you know, driving on my own, I won't have enough practice and I'm more likely to get in an accident unless you're here to practice with me. Or you let me practice, I'm not going to be prepared, and you know, this and that. Or, okay, then I guess I'm not going to drive until I'm 30 and you're going to have to drive me everywhere. And just say something like that along those lines, and then it's more likely to like make them think, hey, I should let them drive, you know. And they don't have to let you drive on like a main road like right away. You can let them ease you into it. Just play along with their little game and they should let you drive. Last little section, the license, like getting the license, like taking the test and then having your license, those things. Number one, I cannot stress this enough, but try not to stress when you're taking your test or a few days before your test. Try not to stress, honey. Like, just try your best. It'll be okay. If you fail, it just means you need more practice. It does not mean you're stupid. Things happen for a reason. So, I mean, if you were to pass and you weren't ready, you might hurt someone, which is bad. When you're taking your test and you're behind the wheel taking it, be sure to exaggerate everything. If you're at a stop sign, go like this. Don't just move your eyes because the person wants to see that you're like engaged and stuff. When you're passing through streets, even if you have the right of way, go like this. Another thing, if you are turning and you need to look in the bike lane so that you're not going to cut any bikers off. If you don't do that, you will fail. So make sure you turn behind your head and then turn, even if you have your blinker on and everything. You need to be confident behind the wheel. If you're like this and you're just like, I'm so nervous and I don't want to drive, and I'm like, you know, they're going to think that you're not ready to drive. You're not confident in a car and you can't drive it. So be confident and like sit up straight with your shoulders, you know, get on that ish and just like drive. But don't be overly confident where you're just like, by other cars, I'm gonna pass you all and cut in front. You don't do that. And when you go and take your test, your car needs to be registered. It needs to have, you need to bring its registration, its insurance papers. Oh, and your permit. You need to bring your permit. Okay guys, so I hope this video helped you and like answered a lot of your questions. If you have any more, I am like happy to answer them down below because I want all of you to learn to drive. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. My vlog channel will also be linked in the description, so make sure to go check that out. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Bye.